We heard the land's call and came to it. You heard the land's call too and came to it too. Now, hear our call of the events of the evening. Listeners, the day we have been waiting for is today. Yes, today is the Grand Parade. Already there are shops lined up outside the dome. Grog Willows and a squirrel, Chipmunk Dave, has a small stall where they are selling interesting-looking pine cones. Old Man Marty is also here, selling t-shirts that said, "I was here," and golf clubs that he made for the golfing tournament held just last year. It seems like there are a lot of people buying the t-shirts and walking around the stalls. Isn't this nice, listeners? We'll have more updates on the Grand Parade as it progresses. And now an update on Ryan Dimes, owner of ChipSmart. He has released a statement claiming that his new program, GOPHER WATCH, has declared our city a gopher-free environment. Ryan Dimes said that he has not mentioned the GOPHER WATCH to anybody before this point, but thought, hey, this seems like good news to share with everybody in our time of strange events. Ryan Dimes then said that he believes that we shall see no more gophers or geese in the coming weeks, months, and years. They have flown and tunneled out of this city for good, Ryan said, and then went on to add that you should buy the bubblegum flavored chips, just in case. This has been an update on Ryan Dimes, owner of ChipSmart. Well, I'm getting word that the Grand Parade is about to begin. So, as we all go to the Grand Parade, let's go to a safety announcement by our own Police Chief McDougal. Today, Brenham, today's the day you're probably all excited about. Well, that's fine. However, we can't rule out yet that the masked people who show up near the hollows are going to be around anymore. I mean, they have been causing blackouts and all kinds of bad things to happen to our city. So don't approach them. But don't worry about it. All evidence says that nothing will happen to you if you tempt fate. So let's just take things slowly, okay? Okay. Goodbye. The Grand Parade has begun, listeners. The floats are floating by lazily, all beautiful colors celebrating our town's storied history. There's Doug, creating the first foundations of Hyde Park, where the dome now sits. There's the Henner Public Library, which unfortunately closed down recently due to lack of interest. And there's the dome float inside the dome. I think that description is making me get a bit of a headache. Okay, sorry about this, but we need to talk about something else. Apparently, there are masked people from the hollows moving towards the dome and towards the Grand Parade. I'm getting this from Officer Peterson, whose last recorded location is, quote, hiding in his car waiting for the masked people to move past his location. I just got deja vu. Again. So, yes, keep that piece of information in mind, listeners. Keep it in mind. Okay, let me tell you about something else for a minute. Yes, John Baxter has been acting odd these past few days. He's been acting very jumpy and looking over his shoulder. He keeps mumbling about town moving records, which of course are public information in Town Hall's record office. I don't see what that could have done with anything. I told him to do more research about Jim Beans, but he just looked at me and said he hasn't gotten anything to do with it. It's concerning, that's what it is. It's very, very concerning. Urgent news from the parade, listeners. The hollowed mask people have somehow sneaked into the dome and are also surrounding it. There are a lot more hollowed mask people surrounding the dome. Nobody knows where to run. Nobody knows where to hide. There are no longer the screams of joy. There is just screams of fear and panic and despair now. Please, do not consider joining the people at the dome watching the grand parade. It is not a good time to join them. No. Listeners, I do not know how, but it seems like the hollowed people have surrounded the building. I cannot escape into the hallway as I hear footsteps, and I know that Ryan Dimes was going to the parade today. Jim Baxter also said he needed to go somewhere important for journalistic work, so it cannot be him either. Where can I go? Where can I hide? The footsteps are getting closer and now, music spotlight.
Standing on my doorstep, waiting for a package, hoping for that blissful moment when that blonde-haired angel falls out of the heavens with a bag full of bills again. It's a little bit awkward when she gives them over. It's hard to look her in the eye. It might just be the way she's fumbling, bringing on the nervous side. Some folks like to send telegrams, others like to drop on in. But if it means that I see that girl, well, I'm gonna mail it in. She's a star of civil service, the reason for insurance, but I don't seem to get a break. My mail, please, to Her Majesty's, come back, just tell this girl for goodness sake. I'm up all night reading catalogs, placing orders till I'm broke. 'Cause when they arrive, I hope I'll have the courage to get these words out of my throat. Some can't sing pretty songs of love, some have handsome words and grins, but the only way that I see that girl is when I go and mail it in. She might lose a thing or two. Her smile that sparkles holds a beat of parcel. Half the stuff is taped or glued. There's a crash on the porch. I open up the door, help her stand and fix her hat. My voice is misbehaving, time to spend what I've been saving with my softer welcome mat. Some folks like to send telegrams, others like to drop on in. But all I want is to see that girl, so I'm gonna mail it in. Some can't sing pretty songs of love, some have handsome words and grins, but the only time that I see that girl is when I go and mail it in.
Listeners, I speak to you in the calm after the storm. I speak to you in a town which was in danger, but is in danger no more. I speak to you directly with the truth of the situation. I could see through my window a figure, a masked hollow person. He seemed familiar in that moment. He seemed like somebody I knew and had met several times before this day. He tried the door, which was locked. I always lock the door so that nobody interrupts me while I broadcast the show, so that was something going for me in the moment. But then I saw that the masked figure was holding a brick in his right hand, and I knew he was going to try to break the window. I knew in that moment that I was going to surely perish. And then the building started to move. It turns out that the gophers and the geese were not quite out of the range of our radio station and picked up my distressing situation. The building was moved suddenly, and that knocked both me and the masked figure onto the floor. I was unscathed, but the mask was scattered to the ground. And I saw, in that moment, a person I would have never guessed to do something like this. Dr. Hopkins was the person behind that mask. He looked at me, and I saw a man who was totally and utterly insane. I don't think it had anything to do with us, though perhaps he was always that way. He did, after all, order us to ban all chips because that would promote healthy choices. And then, just as I thought that I was a goner, I heard a voice. The voice belonged to Officer Peterson, who was standing just behind Dr. Hopkins. "Freeze!" he shouted. Dr. Hopkins growled at him and said, "You and what authority?" "The authority of the police department," yelled Officer Peterson, wherein a sizable chunk of the police department showed up right behind him. It turns out that Officer Peterson's last known location was actually parked outside our station, wherein he heard my desperate cries because he always has the radio on, since it calms his nerves. He then called for backup, which the entire police force, or at least a sizable chunk of it, came to my rescue. I would like to thank Officer Peterson and the entire Brenham Police Department for their help from saving me from Dr. Hopkins. So, back to what happened after the break. Dr. Hopkins was led away to be charged with disturbing the peace, breaking and entering, destruction of property, and leading a seriously scary amount of Westcott Hills protesters into doing his dirty deeds against this fair city. I was still confused about how Dr. Hopkins did all this. He sabotaged the town, his very home. That's when John Baxter came running up and said he knew what this was all about. He said that using his reading knowledge, he got the moving records in the town hall for Dr. Hopkins moving from Westcott Hills. Turns out, he disappeared out of his own accord and convinced the protesters to show that this town wasn't suitable for hosting the Grand Parade. That makes sense, I guess. Speaking of the Grand Parade, despite all accounts, it was a success. We made, apparently, a healthy profit on tourism. Or at least that's what the tourism board said after all this had happened. They were sweating profusely and trying not to look at the disapproving stares of the mayors of the other small towns, including our very own Mayor Orson, who was looking the most disapproving of them all. I believe the tourism board, Brenham. It was a success. We, as a community, came together and stopped the protesters from doing damage to our town. And now, some thank you messages to that community. Thank you to Chipmunk Dave for biting a Westcott protester on the arm, and for Old Man Marty to knock out one that was advancing on Sally Munson using his golf clubs. Although Sally did say that the protester was just advancing because he was about to eat the booby-trapped ice cream she had laid out as a trap for the protesters. So, thanks also to Sally Munson for doing that, too. And thank you, dear listener, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thanks for supporting us by lending your time and your ears to this show. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having all of this broadcasted into your mind and into your heart. And most importantly, thanks for listening to the events of the evening.
Standing on my doorstep, waiting for a package, hoping for that blissful moment when that blonde-haired angel falls out of the heavens with a bag full of bills again. It's a little bit awkward when she gives them over. It's hard to look her in the eye. It might just be the way she's fumbling, bringing out my nervous side. Some folks like to send telegrams, others like to drop on in. But if it means that I see that girl, well, I'm gonna mail it in. She's a star of civil service, the reason for insurance, but I don't seem to get a break. My mail, please, to Her Majesty's. Come back, just tell this girl for goodness sake. I'm up all night reading catalogs, placing orders till I'm broke.